You're watching Up with KREM.
Just ahead of 6:30 on our Monday morning, the Spokane Regional Health District announced a parent of a Bemis Elementary school student tested positive for coronavirus. This morning, we are live at the school to find out how school leaders are responding. Plus, Washington Governor Jay Inslee is expanding a social ban, and it may hit businesses pretty hard. We'll detail the new rules now in place, closing down bars and restaurants.
And outside here locally, we are waking up to mostly dry conditions, but some fresh snow came down over the course of the weekend. Details on what to expect throughout your work week are coming up.
Well, good morning. Thanks for being up with KREM. I'm Jen York. Social distancing means a new normal for many of us across the state and the nation. Of course, this is due to concerns of the coronavirus spreading. This morning, we want to show you here at KREM, we are also practicing social distancing. Here in the studio, we have put distance between ourselves. Everybody here in the studio is at least 6 feet apart, and we will continue to do that as long as we need to. Joshua?
Yeah, Jen, as you mentioned, today Governor Jay Inslee will take new drastic steps to curb the transmission of COVID-19 throughout the state. He's going to sign a statewide emergency order that would temporarily shut down restaurants and bars, among a number of other establishments. Now, he announced that decision last night on Twitter. The governor also is likely going to ban any gathering of more than 50 people throughout the state. In fact, the governor said yesterday that restaurants, bars, and venues throughout King County should shut down immediately, calling it the epicenter of the outbreak in Washington. Now, it's very important to note that takeout and delivery services will still be allowed. It's in-person dining that is not allowed. The governor's new order also does not include grocery stores or pharmacies. The governor says that he understands that this will likely cause economic hardships for many businesses and that his administration is currently looking at steps to address those challenges. Now, the formal emergency order will be signed today. There is no word, however, on how long it's going to last. Washington now joins a series of states to implement closures and bans on gatherings of more than 50 people, which was recommended yesterday by the CDC. And this morning, we want to hear from you, your comments, your questions, your concerns surrounding this decision. You can text us all morning long at 509-448-2000. We have seen them coming in already this morning, and you might see your comments show up at some point this morning on Up with KREM. 6:32 now, and this morning parents across the region are also preparing to keep their students home from school. Today, students in Spokane are expected to gather up their materials before an extended break begins tomorrow. This comes after a parent of a Bemis Elementary school student tested positive for coronavirus. Nicole Hernandez joins us live this morning to tell us more about how school leaders are responding. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning, Joshua. Like you said, Bemis Elementary will still be open this morning, and the district is hoping that parents still send their kids to school today to make that transition easier from school to some of that home learning they're going to be doing here. So the parent that did test positive for coronavirus did not go into this building, according to district leaders. That person is now being treated at home. Doctors are watching over them. Their kids did go to school on Monday and Tuesday of last week, but they haven't had any symptoms. Spokane Regional Health District says if you haven't had close contact with that parent, your chances of coming down with this virus are still low. But if you're concerned, you should still call your doctor. Now, just in case, school staff did deep clean the school yesterday. Staff also cleaned all of the school's buses on Friday and are going to wipe them down one more time early this morning before they start running to bring kids to school. Now, again, the district is hoping that parents do send their kids this morning, but if you do decide to keep your kid home from school, they're going to respect that decision. Live in Hilliard, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
All right, Nicole, thank you so much. I know a lot of parents concerned this morning, of course. That's natural, but again, they're gathering their materials today to get ready for that extended break. Here at 6:34, Spokane public school leaders say they do have plans in place to reduce the impact of the school closures on local families. SPS's superintendent says the district is now working with state leaders to set up food distribution hubs. Now, right now, about 57% of Spokane public school students are on free and reduced lunch. She says the district needs to get a system in place as soon as possible. The superintendent also says the school district is concerned about the mental health support and student isolation as well. She says they are working to find creative ways to keep students active, and that could entail smaller groups. And the Washington State Department of Health is urging people to stop overbuying. This weekend, the department tweeted that the more you overstock those supplies, the less is available for your sick neighbors and for doctors, dentists, and emergency response personnel. They also included a picture of a store saying they were sold out of paper, toilet paper, and water. Washington Governor Jay Inslee responded to the tweet saying Washington Emergency Management recommends having 2 weeks of food and supplies on hand. 6:35 now. We do want to get to some breaking news this morning. We want to take a look at the big board. The Dow Jones plummeted nearly 10% at the opening of trading this morning, and trading is now halted. Once the circuits break, they are put on a 15-minute hold. You can see down more than 2,200 points this morning. Again, that's something we'll continue to track. Trading, of course, just opened in the last 5 minutes, so this happened fairly quickly. Again, that triggers a 15-minute break. That's the third time in 1 week that we've seen this happen shortly after trading opens. So again, that is something we will continue to track this morning. But again, trading halted right now at, as we see, 10% drop at the Dow Jones at the opening of trading this morning. Now, getting back to our local coverage here, 6:36. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, people need to stock up on non-perishable foods for the next 2 weeks. They say keep some extra medication on hand in case you need to stay home for a prolonged period of time. And be sure to have enough over-the-counter medicines and medical supplies like tissues and fever reducers.
6:36 this morning, the House has passed a relief bill over the weekend after Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin reached an agreement. The bill makes coronavirus tests free. Now, the Federal Reserve also slashed interest rates over the weekend, and President Trump says he hopes the move will help boost the economy. Also over the weekend, a slew of businesses have cut their hours. River Park Square management team says that they will temporarily modify their shopping hours. Effective immediately, their new hours will be from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sundays. The mall is also implementing heightened sanitation measures as recommended by the CDC. Lush Cosmetics announced that it will temporarily be closing all of its stores nationwide and in Canada. The cosmetics retailer says that they will close those stores from March 16th through the 29th. The Spokane Lush location just opened last month. The owners say that their online business still remain up and running for the time being, so that customers can still access products like soaps. Meanwhile, Trader Joe's announced that they will also be cutting store hours beginning tomorrow. All stores will close 2 hours earlier, but the stores will be open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. This is an effort to support their crew members in taking care of one another as well as their customers. Now, Starbucks is introducing changes to encourage social distancing. Those steps include removing seating and temporarily closing company-owned stores that are in malls and in colleges, which are spots that Starbucks calls high social gathering locations. Apple says that it is closing all of its stores outside of China until March 27th in response to the ongoing COVID-19 outbreak. And of course, we will continue our coronavirus coverage throughout the morning, but for now, we do want to take a quick look at weather by checking in with our own Evan Narani. Good morning, Evan.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Joshua. Yeah, we are starting off now our Monday morning with dry skies after a weekend that was pretty snowy. We saw about 5.8 inches of snow come down in the Spokane area. We're starting off the week dry, though, a little bit chilly nonetheless. Temperatures out there, when you factor in wind chill values, well, we're looking at mainly teens on the board. 15 in Deer Park, 14 in Spokane, 12 in Coeur d'Alene, and 19 in Moses Lake. This is, of course, the combination of the current temperature along with a slight breeze out there makes it feel a lot colder than it actually is. On our satellite radar image, we're picking up on nearly nothing right now, which is good news if you're expecting a dry day and a dry week. We're going to see sunny skies this afternoon. Temperatures warming up to just a few degrees shy of average. Average would be about 49 degrees for the afternoon. Instead, we'll make it to 46, maybe 47 throughout the day. We're sticking with those dry conditions throughout the rest of the week. It's not until we hit about the weekend that we really start to get to slightly above normal territory, but we're sticking with the dry trend throughout the week. No significant weather events to take place throughout your Monday through Friday. I'll send things back over to you, Jen.
All right, Evan, thank you. Well, former Vice President Joe Biden and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders went head-to-head in the Democratic debate last night, this time without an audience. Biden made a landmark statement during the debate. He says if elected president, he will appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court, and he will choose a woman as his running mate.
If I'm elected president, have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the courts. It's required that they have representation now. It's long overdue.
Sanders would not explicitly commit to selecting a woman running mate, but says it's likely. Sanders also went after Biden's past support for cuts to entitlement programs like Social Security.
In the richest country in the history of the world, half of our people should not be struggling to put food on the table. And the reason for that is you have a political structure in which big money interests not only dominate the political system, but dominate our economy as well.
Nobody will pay.
Now, the two also clashed on how to combat the coronavirus and whether the U.S. healthcare system is prepared for the worsening global pandemic. Coming up now on 641.
That's right. Taking a look outside, we've got a quick break in store. After that, we're talking about the forecast, which includes more dry skies.
Plus, coming up in our next half hour, we'll continue our coverage surrounding COVID-19. We'll tell you why local health leaders might be giving you a call.